Hello everybody, this is Carol from Friendly Quail. Hello, welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm so happy to see you. I've been getting so many new subscribers in the last few days. I'm just amazed and humbled and grateful, and I'm glad you're here, and also welcome back to all of my regulars who've been watching me for a while. I really appreciate all of you. I'm working on my journal. This is going to be part 2 of Measure of a Man, and I gutted the book in the last one, and I've been working on pages, and I didn't do it all on camera because it takes me forever, but I want to show you how I reinforce the ones that are taken out of a book, like how you can see this has a lot of holes in it. Same for that one. There's holes where I took them out, and so I'm going to talk about that, but also just kind of basic how I put together my signatures, and each of them has some type of a scrapbook paper in it, and I have coffee dyed papers. This one's the method where you bunch it up, crunch it up, and let it dry, and then you iron it. I have things that are from the original book, and this has been reinforced, which I'll show you in a little bit. This one's a map, and I have this a flip, and that also has been reinforced. I reinforced it on the plain side. And I used, this is kind of a vellum. It was for drafting, and a smaller piece. Now, what I did is I'm putting 7 signatures, and I'm still figuring out if that's going to be okay. I think I have 6 pieces of paper in each one. Some regular book pages, and in each one I have something that flips out like this. That's bigger, but I only put 1 in each one because I'll be putting something on each of those flips, so it would get too fat if I used way too many. So I try to vary where I put the things. Like this one had a piece of scrapbook in the front. This is one of the original book pages. And you try to vary it, move them around. You can always move them around. This is a book page, but it's like a plain book page. And in this one, I have this ledger paper that's flipped out, and then I used a book page with a cash register. I'm trying to make it a little bit more masculine. So I didn't want to, this is scrapbook paper. I didn't want to I'm not going to be using any lace or anything like that. This one here also starts with a book page. This is from a calligraphy book. Use the M for Measure of a Man. This is a cardstock, not a real heavy one, but that. And then I have some of these. This is from a directory from my hometown and the year I was born, and it's reinforced here, but it's also reinforced where I turn it, either on one side or the other, because it's older paper, old like me, and I don't want it to break off. So this is also a flip, and I'll be adding things on each one of these flips. So that's kind of the gist of it. This is scrapbook paper from a book, an architectural book. This is another map page, and coffee dyed paper. I might move those around a little bit. This one's kind of boring, but I'll put something in it to jazz it up. Let's see. This one had a little rip, so I repaired it with faux cellophane tape, sorry, empty ledger. So you can see that I have one of these that flips out in each one, and I tried to leave lots of room also for journaling. So this one I made to flip one way and the other one the other way. Doesn't matter which way you do it. Some of my washi, and I'll use one of those today to show you, is wider, and others is not. Cigar bands. This was the original first page, or like inside the cover page from the book. I have the ledger paper in this one. This is a piece of transparent it's a type of vellum. It's a little bit lighter weight though. And I have a camera, an old-fashioned camera, and of course coffee dyed paper. Yep. So right now I believe I have 6 papers in each signature, and I have 7 signatures. So I'm going to go back now and show you what I did with my pages. Talk about that in a minute. All right, I always mark my the number of each signature so that I know what order I put them in, because I always pull them out and use them and put them back in, and it can be kind of a mess. But I would like to show you how I reinforce this right here. And let's see, what do I need to reinforce in here? I need to reinforce this one. Oh, and this one I had 2 that had a flip, but I only have a flip on one side of one of them. And I believe that one I have to reinforce just on the edge. But I don't want to get the pages mixed up. I like how they are. So I'm going to do one at a time. And I think I'll use the wide paper on here. Here's my copyright date of 1904. But that was a copyright, but this was published in 1911, so that was, republished. I like to line these up with one of the lines on my mat here, and so that when I put this on, I can kind of get it straight. If you have text on the page, you can line it up with the text. Excuse me. But, oh, this one I haven't used before. When I bought some, oh, I should have brought water in. I bought some of this on Amazon, and it has paper on the back. And when I opened it up, it was attached on here, so like this whole first part, I'm not going to use because it took off. It's not like regular washi tape where you peel it off and it comes right off. If this sticks, so I'm going to, and actually I want where the pipe is and things, so you can use this. I'll use this on other, you can use it on tags and things like that. But I'm going to just cut off a piece that I know will fit on here. So I think I'll let it stick off a little bit on the edge and cut it off. Now, to get this paper off, if you keep it like it started, not a problem, but you can do something like make a score, and then it'll peel off. And obviously this is really, really sticky. So I don't think I need to be using glue on it. You can if you want to. I did some with glue and some without, and the ones without are still seeming to be working. So these are almost like stickers, but it's on a roll. Okay, I'm going to line that up and then put this on. Let's see, maybe I'll just try to put it on up here first, because I want that up to the top. So that's nice and wide, but it also will show. So when you bend it, like when you open this up, you're going to see part of that pipe and things on it. So that's one way to put something on. That's that type of washi. It's a type of, they call it washi, but to me it's more like sticker tape, because it doesn't, you can't, it sticks to itself. So you can't just take it off like that. Okay, so that one is done. And the next page is this one. I'm going to set that aside. And similar, I use regular washi. I'm going to use a thin one on this. And it's a Tim Holtz washi. And I'm going to figure out about the amount. This sort of looks like ledger on this washi. So, okay, where did I put my glue stick? I just had it a minute ago. I'll pull a different one. It's probably right in front of my face, where I knocked it on the floor. I hate to admit what my desk looks like right now. You can see stuff all over. It's just all over. But when you're working, it's the creative muse. That's what you do. So I'm going to use this glue on this washi. Line it up kind of with that line. So I can get it fairly straight. Now, if it's a little crooked, it's no biggie. You know, unless it drives you nuts. And I'm going to cut this off. And sometimes I let this dry for a little while before I bend it, especially the narrow stuff, but I think I'll be able to do it. Sometimes it doesn't like to bend when it's wet, but yeah, that's good. Now, this is good enough paper that I don't need to do that. I just did this on here because of the holes in there. All right, so let's see. Then the next page was this. That's fine. This little book page is fine. It's good paper. So we'll work on this, and then this will be my center. So I already put a piece on this, but I'm going back and I'm going to put a piece on here. And I think I will use this one. It has dates, numbers. So I'm just kind of making sure it's going to be long enough. And I'm gluing it. And I'm going to line this up. And now, this hasn't broken on me yet, but I got a feeling that if you flip it in and out a lot, it will. Because it's not the newest paper. Like I said, it's old like me. It's from my birth year, 1951. And So I am going to put that on there. Oop. And then cut off the excess. Now if I had a cut or something here, I would put it right over the edge of the page, or I sometimes, you know, if it's really bad, do it on both sides. It does bulk it up a little bit more. So this side I cut off because I already had one flip, but I wanted this in there. So this will then fold over this way. And each one of these will have something put on it to extend the page. It won't be a full page extend most of the time, but it'll be something. I'm going to be starting to do those coming up here. Okay, and then I'll put this last page inside the book. Now I like to, once I get my signatures figured out, the first thing I do is make sure it's going to fit in the book. So I have the book here. I haven't done anything more with it on the inside, but I put that in there. And it's good. It's not real tight. I can pinch it so I know I can put, they call it the pinch test. I know I can put things in here and it still won't be too big because you can push it. And the number of signatures looks good. So I am ready to put these in my press. And I have a homemade press. My husband helped me though, because he drilled holes. I'll show you. I almost just brought a whole bunch of stuff down on my head. This was 2 cutting boards that we got at, I don't know if it was at Dollar Tree or something. It was one, I think it was one that you pay more than $1 or $1.25 for things. I think these were $3 each. I didn't luck out by finding anything at a dollar store. And then he got this turn. These you can buy at hardware stores. There's a washer, and then this is a bolt. So what he did is he drilled the holes for me. The bolt probably wouldn't need to be this long. I don't usually do that much paper, but I'm going to put the papers in there, and then you tie it really tight. And I might not have to take all of these all the way off, as long as I can get in there. But you take your papers, oops, I'm going to line these up. I'm going to take the papers and put them inside of that, kind of in the middle. And then, as long as I don't have anything folded over or anything like that, I'm good. I get them mostly so they're touching, and then I start turning them tight. And I just kind of go around and tighten all of them. Should have probably backed up a little bit. I was out of frame a little bit. Sorry about that. I'll do one side and then I'll do the other. Now this one is getting pretty tight, but I really like to get them tight. That's why these handle kind of nice. You can use a wing nut, but those hurt my hands. And so I'm just getting this as tight as I can. And I'm going to leave that in here until tomorrow. And what that does is it flattens the pages, and then they take up less space. Okay, I think I'm good. Maybe a little bit more. It's putting a lot of pressure on those papers. They're inside down in here. You kind of can see it. And I'm just going to leave that in there until tomorrow. I want to do one other thing today, and that is I need to put a new spine in here. So what I did is I made a spine, and this is yarn that I just wrapped around it. People use like nylon stockings. I don't have any of those. I haven't worn nylons. I think I stopped wearing them when I turned 40. No, I stopped wearing heels at 40, stopped wearing nylon or pantyhose at 50. Every decade I take something new. And I stopped doing something that I used to do. So it's just on a rolling pin. And what I did is I cut 2 pieces of, this is like file folder, and I put the Fabri-Tac in between them and put them together as one piece, because one isn't thick enough. I like to have 2. And I made it the size that I can kind of sneak it in here. And then with the glue curing and putting it in there, now I'll be able to glue that in here. I always check first of all, and then I'll keep this little bit of a rounded spine in here instead of having it being totally flat. So I think I'm ready to glue that in, and so I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac again, and I'm going to use my silicone makeup brush. These things are great for spreading the glue. It thins it out so you don't get like, I'm not putting it on the edges because I'm really only wanting this for on here. And I probably could have put it on the spine itself too. Either way. Slide that in. Slide that in. Push it down. Now this is going to be covered up, and at this point I'm going to add a little bit of glue underneath these little fold up parts here, or fold down parts. To put that in, that'll help hold that spine in. Make sure that you can bend your book like this, and that you have a little space in that hinge, because you will be having, see, I remember the word today, hinge. You will be having a little bit of fabric in here when you put your text block in. If you're doing, this will be a hidden hollow back spine. So I don't want it too tight. One time, the first one I made, I had to take everything apart and make this smaller, because it got caught up and wouldn't close the book like this. So now I'm going to let that dry. And I do still have the original text block, even though I took some pages out. It works to put in there and to have it help remember what shape it's supposed to be. Okay? And that is it for part 2. And I will be starting some journal cards and the flips and things once I can take the pages out of the book, out of the press. So I will end for now, and join me again. It won't be long before I put part 3 up, and we look at, here's where it is. It was right here laying on my table, right here. Oh, if I didn't have my head attached, you know, I couldn't find anything. So anyway, sorry about that. Thanks for being with me. Do something every day that makes you feel happy. Do something you just love to do and you will be happy. And that's my advice for everybody every day. This is Carol from Friendly Quail saying bye.